Okay, well, welcome. My name is Deanna Barnett, and I will be the facilitator today for the Business Model Design Workshop. Are you guys familiar with the Business Model Canvas? Have you ever used it? No?
I've heard of it.
Okay, all right. Well, we are going to utilize the Business Model Canvas. If you could just introduce yourself by name, your company, and what you're hoping to expect today. Start with Sarah.
My name is Sarah Jordan. I'm the owner of School LLC. Just want to learn more about this and help our startup get along and grow.
All right, great.
My name is Mark DeBruin. I'm the Chief Technology Officer of School LLC, and I'm just trying to learn more about the business model and how to make the company grow easier.
Perfect.
And Tyrone Martin, owner of Nitram Communications, marketing and promotion company. Just get myself familiar back with this new design.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the presentation today. Before you is your presentation packet. You grab the presentation packet and follow along. Oh, the other one. Yeah. So that's all of your materials in the packet there. Feel free to write notes along with the presentation as I go through each slide, and then we'll talk about the other handouts here in a sec. So I have a definition for business model, the term business model. So the term has been used a lot with different meanings. And so the first thing that we're going to do is to define what a business model is. The way that I define business model is simply stating that a business model is a framework of how your business will operate and make money. That's my version. The business model canvas that we're going to be using was founded by a guy named Alex Osterwalder, and his definition of a business model is a model that describes how your company creates, delivers, and captures value. So we're going to be using both those two terms to understand how our company operates, makes money, and delivers that value. Okay. So here is the template of the business model canvas. It has 9 components: the value proposition, your customer segments, customer relationships, channels, revenue streams, key activities, key resources, key partners, and cost structure. We are going to start with the value proposition because that is the heart of the canvas. Everything that we identify in each of these other sections are going to be built on the value that we are offering. So the business model is big picture thinking, okay? It's not details, it is the concept of how your business is going to operate and make money. Everything on the right-hand side of the business model you'll see relates to customers, who you're working with, how you work with them, the money you get from them. It's all related to customers. On the left-hand side is more on operations, infrastructure, how you work, how you operate, what you need, who do you need to work with, how much it's going to cost you. So you have the middle, which is the value, the customers on the right, and the operations or the infrastructure on the left. Again, the business model focuses only on key elements and not details. So to help you understand what I mean by key elements and details, we're going to do a quick visualization exercise. So what I want you to do is close your eyes and imagine you are in an airplane and you are at the Columbus Airport getting ready to take off. You hear the engines revving, you are sitting next to the window, so you have a window seat, and you see the plane taking off. You're going up and up, and you see that the landscape and the items on the landscape getting smaller and smaller. Right before you hit the clouds, you look out your window. Without raising your hands, just blurt out, tell me what you see.
The land section off.
You can see the land sections. What else do you see? right before you hit the clouds.
This guy.
The sky, yes. You see the sky. What else do you see? Look down below. What do you see below you? What might you see?
You might see water.
You might see water, depending on where you're flying out of, which city. If you're in LA or Detroit, you might see some water. What do you see at the Columbus airport? What might you see?
The light.
What's that?
Light. The light.
The light?
When I travel in the night.
Yes.
Many lights.
You see lights, yep. If it's at night, you'll see lights.
You see the buildings.
You'll see buildings. What else will you see? What are these?
Roads.
Roads. You'll see roads.
And then, what is it? Runways.
Runways. You'll see trees. What do you not see?
People.
You don't see people. No. What else do you not see?
Probably not gonna see, street lights or.
You won't see the street lights. They're too small. You won't see cars. They're too small. So those are considered the details. The key elements that you will see, you can open your eyes now. The key elements that you will see will be the land sections. You'll see the masses of trees. If you're flying out of Michigan or LA, you'll see the body of water. Those are the key elements of that city's infrastructure. And that city uses those key elements to function. So in this business model design workshop tonight, you're going to identify the key elements that makes your business function, or that will make your business function. Okay, does that make sense? Are we clear on key elements and details? All right, we're focusing on key elements. All right, I'm gonna have you pull out the business model canvas template in your packet. And not the Airbnb, it's just a blank template. It's just a blank one. You got it? Can I just hold it up real quick and just make sure everybody is on the same page? We are using this template. And what else we are going to use would be some Post-its, because as I go through each section, you're going to start building your own business model. So you should have something when you leave here today. Let me grab something real quick. Everyone have something to write with? Okay, perfect. So Alex Osterwalder, our founder of the Business Model Canvas, suggests that you never write on your canvas. You pick whichever color you want. You never write on your canvas because things may change. And in order for you to explore which model works best, you need to be able to move your elements around before you decide on the business model for your company, okay? So as we go through each section, I'll have you write one idea on that Post-it and place it on the square that we're talking about on your canvas. So each section may have multiple ideas, but remember to only write one idea, okay? And I'll give you instruction as we get to writing, okay? Let's start with value propositions. Value propositions would be the bundle of products and services that create the value for specific customer segments. Your value proposition is a clear statement about the results that your customers will get from using your products, your services, or your solution. Your value proposition should solve a problem, it should satisfy a need, or it should make life easier for your customer. So when your customers are buying from you, they are really buying the value. What is in it for them? You may have heard that before. What is in it for the customer? So solving a problem, what problem are you solving? You may think, I'm not solving a problem. You may be solving a problem for your customer that you haven't thought of. So to figure out what problem you are solving, here's just a few questions you can start asking yourself. Is there a lack of something? Is there something that's not easy to use that I'm solving? Is there something that's too difficult to access? Is there something harmful to the environment? Am I providing a solution for any of those problems? Maybe there's another problem on here that you are addressing. And then how are you solving it? Are you making it more available? Are you making it faster or efficient? Are you making it more convenient? Is it now more suitable for the environment? What's the problem and how you're solving it? The way that you are solving it is, well, the problem and the solution is the value that you bring. So here are a few types of value propositions as you think about your problem. Maybe you're offering faster service to a problem. Maybe you're offering convenience or usability to this problem. Maybe you offer low prices or you offer something free. People like free, people like low prices. Maybe you are reducing risk for someone. And a company that reduces risk, for example, would be insurance companies. Insurance companies don't really sell something that you can touch and feel. They are selling the assurance that if something bad goes wrong, they will reduce the risk of that bad occurrence for you, your family, your company, okay? Newness, maybe you're just offering something new to the marketplace and there's a customer segment that values new products and new services. Maybe you are improving some type of performance on something or someone or some company. There are customers out there that like to use products and services made just for them. Customization is a value for those types of customers. Maybe your customer just doesn't want to do it. It just gets the job done for your customers. Maybe your company offers an appealing design. Examples of companies that offer appealing design would be fashion designers, customers wanting something glamorous to wear, or technology companies who create appealing designs in their products. Or maybe your company just offers a better technology for something that's already out in the market. These are just examples of value propositions for you to start thinking about what is your company's value proposition, because that's what you want to focus on when you go to sell your product or your service. You could have a product that works the best. You may have something that is of highest quality, but if you cannot sell on your value, it's hard for the customer to understand why they should buy into it. And there are a lot of companies who went out of business because they could not articulate their value proposition to their customers. Any questions so far? So what I'm going to do is play a short video, a caricature video, on how not to articulate your value proposition, to help you better understand what I mean. Let me go to this video. Make sure I can see it. Oh. Go back. Here it comes. This is how.
Hey, I've got a great idea for a business.
That's exciting. Tell me about it.
I've developed a chemical isomer that links to volatile organic compounds causing carbon bonds to rupture and wraps them in a nanotube coating.
Huh, that's a little confusing. Can you dumb it down for me?
Sure. What I do is I take a proprietary isomer that I developed with a picric acid wash that hollows out the carbon bonds and replaces them with a nanotube wrapping.
Okay, so I guess it's pretty technical.
Oh yeah. I've been working on this isomer for 9 years.
So what's the business idea?
To sell it,
To who?
everybody will want one,
What for?
so they can wrap their volatile organic compounds in carbon nanotubes.
I think you might need a target customer. I don't think I need to wrap my compounds in your nanotube.
Well, maybe not you,
So, for people who buy it, what's the value you are providing them?
I've developed a chemical isomer that links to volatile organic compounds causing carbon bonds to rupture and wraps them in a nanotube coating.
You've said that already. This is getting annoying. Why should anyone care about your isomer?
I spent 9 years on this.
I know that. Okay, pretend I'm an investor. How can I make money off your product?
By selling it.
You're a smart guy, but try not to think like a scientist. Think like a business person.
Okay. Value chain. Term sheet.
I have to go now and answer that.
That's not your phone.
I know.
Okay, so what is he selling?
Ice maker,
Isomer.
No one knows.
carbon.
No one knows what he's selling, and that is a great example of how not to articulate your value. Because they don't know what it is, because they don't know, they meaning customers, they don't know how it will benefit them, they're more likely not going to buy it, which puts you out of business. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to think about, I'm going to go back to types of value propositions. We give you a few minutes to think about what is your value proposition for your company. Are you offering something that is easier to use? Is it faster service? And it doesn't have to be any one of these. You can create your own value. This is just to help you think about what your value proposition is, okay? And you two are partners, right? So what you can do is you create a model, and you create a model, and see how it compares at the end, okay? All right, so go ahead and think about what your value proposition is.
Writing them down.
Write them down on your Post-it, one idea per Post-it, and you can write down as many value propositions as you can think of. Tell me what your business is again.
No, my business is
Sell.
sir.
What is it?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what you do.
Plan, dessert,
Plan.
plan. Plan in Spanish, dessert in English was dessert. Custom,
Okay. Plan.
the same.
Yes. Spanish flan.
Yes.
You make Spanish flan.
Yes.
Yes.
I made traditional Spanish boricua.
Okay.
Dessert,
Okay. Yep.
different, and is but it's not it's a little bite for price sometimes.
Okay.
And it's
So you have
for-
You have a small restaurant, or is it a bakery? A
It's
bakery.
both.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it's no make in my countries is no says restaurant.
Okay.
Buy food, but is for snack.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Fries and chicken little.
Yeah.
Is no.
Okay.
It's a snack. It's no for.
Okay. Not a full meal. Not a full
It's no
meal.
for.
Okay.
It's
So
very good.
think about what value your company offers your customers. Why do your customers come to you? What do they enjoy about your company? Write it down. I'd like to hear what you have so far. Tell me what you have. Tell me what you got.
I got a bunch.
Okay. Well, start with one.
Basically customization.
Customization. Okay, so customization of what?
We can basically cast any part you need or make any part you need.
Okay, all right. Any part for what? A
like automotive parts, agricultural parts, tools,
Okay.
anything out of iron or steel.
Anything out of iron or steel.
Mhm.
So it's not limited to automotive?
No.
No, okay. So then I would say to you to add detail to your customization post-it and say customize steel or metal parts. And then go ahead and place your value propositions that you come up with on your chart there. What's another one?
What is it?
Oh, so a high level, I just said better technology for making metal parts.
Okay,
And there's like sub bullets of what
okay,
that means.
okay. Better technology for
Making metal
making
parts.
metal parts. Yes, okay. Go ahead, place that on your value proposition square. Were you gonna say something?
Just offering a quick online marketing and promotion advertisement.
Quick online. So the key word there is quick. Quick online advertising and promotion,
And it makes it convenient and low price.
which makes it convenient and it offers lower prices for your advertising.
Yes.
Yes, okay. What do you have?
Me is new because.
Okay, it's new.
Nobody don't have this store
Okay.
and convenience.
What type of store?
Because I don't say the name in English.
Okay.
I need to.
Say it in Spanish real quick. I will see if I can.
Chinchorro.
What is it?
Chinchorro.
Chinchorro. See.
Yes. Is leader in my country is
Okay.
leader store is in wood.
Okay.
Metal.
Okay.
If this the front is of the apparel for the little bakery and
Okay.
the fonda. I don't say fonda. The same for Italian.
Okay. Yeah. Fondant. Fondant.
No, not fondant. You know, the little store Italian little store.
Okay. Okay. So what you would do is just say in Spanish, new Chinchorro store for Columbus, Ohio, and that will work. That will work. So
And you said that's the front end. So the back end, what's happening in the back?
Because it's the many store in my country is very little.
Very
It's
little.
in the front is the same for the same for the bakery, and you put it all. And the back is the same for the stove and the
Okay.
Gotcha.
for
Yep.
the bacon and you cooking fries.
Yep.
Because
Okay.
if the customer is enter and go.
So
okay.
it's like fast food.
Yeah, it is sort of.
The
Yeah.
same.
Okay. So even if you don't know all the English language for some of these terms, go ahead and put them in Spanish, and you can translate them
That's good.
later. So one idea per post-it. So new Chinchorro store for Columbus, Ohio would be one post-it. And then you can think of some other values as we go along. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our next element on the business model canvas. And that will be customer segment. So we're jumping all the way to the right-hand side of the canvas. So your customer segments, these are the groups of people that are going to pay you money, simply put, okay? And the way to figure that out is by asking yourself a few questions. So for the value propositions that you've identified, who wants that value? For whom are you creating value? And what you can do is list out all of the types of people or groups of people you can think of that wants the value that you've identified. So for your value proposition, you want to list out what groups of people or what groups of customers want a new Chinchorro store in Columbus, Ohio. Who wants that? Who wants customized metal and steel parts? Who wants quick online advertising and marketing? Who wants this? Who wants better technology for making metal parts? Who wants it? List them all out. Then you want to ask yourself, who are the most important customers out of that entire list that I came up with? Who are the most important customers that value what I am offering? And then to even narrow it down further, you want to identify common characteristics within that list to help you narrow down your customer segment. So an example that I give is based on a lemonade store in Franklin Park. We'll go through this exercise so you guys can get an idea of what I mean through this 3-step process. So for a lemonade stand in Franklin Park, tell me who you think would value the offering of fresh cold lemonade. And you just blur them out. Runners. Who else?
Children.
Children. Who else would value lemonade in Franklin Park? Who else?
Park patrons.
Park patrons. Walkers. Employees of the park. I hear thirsty people a lot, so thirsty people. Then we would look and say, who are the most important customers out of that list? Who would you say would be the most important customers out of the customers we just named?
The patrons of the park.
The patrons of the park, probably the joggers.
Wait, people are thirsty.
And the thirsty people, absolutely. And then we would take a look at those 3 that we've just identified and say, is there a common characteristic with those 3 groups of people? The park patrons, the joggers, and the thirsty people. What's the commonality of those 3 groups?
Seeking something to drink.
They're all looking for something to drink. And what else?
All in the park.
They are all in the park. So now you have narrowed down your customer segment to people in the park. And that's your customer segment for the lemonade stand in Franklin Park. That's the thought process, okay? Because what we want to do is narrow that down for the purposes of marketing, promotion, and to create this model around that group of people. We have multiple groups of customers. It's hard, or it's challenging, it's challenging to make sure that you are meeting their needs. To begin, at the start of your company. Now, as your company grows, you can add customer segments, and generally you're adding products and services that meet the needs of those customers. So you can add customer segments or adding markets. I've heard that term. But getting started, we want to simplify who our customer segments are, okay? And you can segment your customers 2 ways. You can use demographics like gender, race, age, income, where they live, what they do for work, or you can use psychographics like their behaviors, their traits, their lifestyles, the way that they think, what their motivations are. So joggers in that example would be a psychographic way of segmenting. Demographics, so children could potentially be a demographic. So how do you want to segment your customers? Totally up to you. So take a few minutes and finish up your customer segments, narrow them down to the most important customers. And I'm going to move on because I want to stay on time here. The next segment that we're going to look at would be channels. how you deliver and communicate your value to your customers, okay? Channels function in 6 ways. They can raise awareness about your value or your products and services. They can help your customers evaluate your products and services. They can help your customers buy from you in the purchase process. These channels can help deliver your value proposition. These channels can help provide post-purchase or after-sales support to your customers. So I like to think of channels as touch points. How your company touches your customers to deliver value. These are the functions, and then these are the types of channels. You may raise awareness through communication channels, distribution channels, or sales channels, or you may provide purchase opportunities through these types of channels, so on and so forth. So communication channels, you're using email, direct mail, social media, phone, internet, website. These are all types of communication channels. Distribution channels would be like physical buildings, wholesale outlets, retail stores, or maybe you partner with another company or agency in which a person could go and receive that value, generally the purchase function of a channel. And then your sales force, maybe your sales force is delivering the value. So if your value is education and you use your sales force to help deliver that value, or your sales team, that is your channel. So channels help to deliver value, raise awareness about your value, help evaluate your value, help your customers after sales. Now, you might use a lot of these channels, but remember, we're only thinking about the key elements or the key channels here. So if you have a phone, but you don't deliver your value through your phone, then that's not a key channel for you. If you have a website, but you're not delivering your value through your website, then that's not a key channel for you. How it could be a key channel is if you offer online ordering. You do that through the website. Now it's a key channel. Because how else are you going to do online ordering or offer online ordering? Does that make sense? Go ahead and think about your channels. What are your channels? Write each of your channels, because you may have more than one. Write each of your channels on your Post-it and place it in your channels box on your canvas. And your channel would be, yep, right there. So for your store, it would be your store. The Chinchorro store. That is your channel, your main channel. How do you deliver your product or your value? What's your channel?
Primarily direct sales or
Okay,
commission sales reps.
so your sales reps. Okay. How do you deliver your channel?
Through social media and website.
Okay, all right, we're good. We're clear. One channel is perfect. Let's move on to relationships. This is how we work or interact with our customer segments. And there are 6 types of relationships that I want you to identify with. Personal assistance, dedicated personal assistance, self-service, automated services, communities, and then co-creation. Let's go through each one. Personal assistance is when your customer receives one-on-one interaction with your customer. Maybe sales reps or technicians or what have you. Dedicated personal assistance is the most intimate form of customer relationships. They are assigned one person to work with at your company. A great example of this would be a doctor and a patient. You are assigned a doctor. You may be assigned a hairstylist, or you may be assigned a coach, okay? Dedicated. They never move to other representatives in your company to receive value. Self-service is when the customer delivers the value for themselves. A great and easy way to understand self-service is the self-service checkout at the grocery store. If the grocery store is offering fast, quick checkout, and self-service would be the channel in which the customer would help deliver that value of quick, fast checkout through the self-service checkout line. Does that make sense? Automated services is when the value is delivered to the customer automatically. No one has to do it. The company doesn't do it, the customer doesn't do it. A great example of this would be automated emails. So if you have, if your value is to deliver education, you can put your education through an automated email sequence, and that information is delivered to your customers automatically. Communities. Communities is when the company delivers value to multiple people all at once. A great example of this is Classroom. You have me, and then many people are receiving the information at once. Co-creation. Co-creation is when the customer and the company work together to create value. Great example of this would be Chipotle. So Chipotle offers burritos and bowls, okay? As a customer, you go in there and you tell them how to make your bowl or your burrito. And then the company works to deliver that for you. Another great example would be YouTube. YouTube is known for personal videos. However, YouTube does not make any videos. Their users make the videos. And so, YouTube works with their users to create the value of what YouTube offers. So take a few minutes and think about what your relationship is or will be for your customers. You can have more than one relationship, and that's fine. But which is it? Or which are they? Personal assistants, dedicated, self-service, automated community co-creation. All right, we're going to go to revenue streams. Revenue streams is the cash that you get from your customers. So your customers are the ones who are paying you. If you have identified a customer who is not paying you, those are not your true customers. Okay? Your true customers are the groups that are paying you for your value. Now, if you are serving groups that are not paying you, those are your beneficiaries. Okay? Whoever's giving you money, you want to make sure that you are offering them that value. So here's ways that you can make money. Does everybody understand what I just said? Yes? Okay. Here's ways that we can make money. We can sell something that is an asset sale. Asset sales are generally tangible items. Books, merchandise, property, something you can see, feel, or touch, essentially. Usage fee. This is more like selling your time and expertise, like consulting fees or some consulting services. Subscription. This is a recurring transaction that your customers pay you to utilize something or to receive something on a continuous basis. What's a great example of a subscription model? A subscription revenue. Shout it out.
Magazine.
Newspaper, magazine. What else?
Netflix.
Netflix, yes. Anything else? Subscription.
From Netflix, and you pay, and you receive per month.
Yes.
Mhm.
Memberships and associations,
There are subscriptions, all kinds of things, like wine comes every.
Wine. candles. So these companies are figuring out how to be a little bit more creative with their revenue generation. So subscription model is actually an increasing business model for a lot of companies because it creates a recurring transaction. You just have to see if that works for your business. With recurring transactions, you generally have to be doing something all the time. Anyway, next, lending, leasing, or renting. When you offer to allow your customers to borrow something for a fee, they have to do that. Whether that's space, equipment, or what have you. Licensing. This is when you give your customers permission to use something of yours that you own for a fee. A great example would be recipes. You can license recipes and have other restaurants use your recipes for a fee. Franchises, that's what licensing is. A company franchises their business model and they allow another company to use their model for a fee. Is this your type of revenue stream? Brokerage fee. This is typically you're supporting the transaction of something, so you're like a middleman. Real estate, insurance uses brokerage fee as their revenue streams. And then advertising. This isn't you advertising, this is your customers advertising with you. So sponsorships, web ads, whatever else that could be for you. So think about what your revenue streams are and go ahead and write them down if you haven't already. Looks like you guys have been writing. Put them on your Post-its, one revenue stream per Post-it. So for yours, I'm guessing food sales. That's a form of asset, yep. What are your revenue streams? I'm just curious.
So we have several, so right now the main one that we're getting paid for is from selling the government research.
Okay, so that's consulting or is that contract?
It's a contract.
Contract.
To do research for them.
Okay, so your revenue stream is
But
contract.
long-term, sell parts, sell equipment,
Okay.
training, licensed technologies.
Okay, all right, that's a good start, that's a good start. And then as we go through, if you have multiple revenue streams, you'll see how you'll have to add more activities to manage those revenue streams so you can decide which revenue streams you want to focus on and make key. So let's move on to the other side of the canvas to talk about operations. And we're gonna start with key activities, the most important activities a company must do to deliver their value. So your key activities can be performed inside your company or they can be performed outside your company. Regardless of where it's performed, your company relies on those activities to be conducted. So an example that I use is a restaurant. What are the key activities of a restaurant? You can shout them out.
Inside is
What's the most important thing you have to do in a restaurant to make it work?
Make food.
You gotta make food, you gotta cook. Cook. What else do you have to do in a restaurant to make it work? Cook.
Sell it.
Sell the food. Okay, some marketing and sales, yep. What else do you have to do in the restaurant to make it work? Service. So depending on what type of restaurant you have, if you have servers, that's more like a sit-down restaurant. But if you have a carry-out or a drive-through, then you eliminate the servers. Really just depends on how your restaurant is set up.
Mhm.
Another key activity would be cleaning. You gotta clean to make sure that the food is safe and sanitary. So those are the key activities. a lot of times I see business owners not think of the key activities, and they start hiring based on what they think they need versus who they need to conduct business and make it work. So for that restaurant example, something that a title or position you don't need to fill automatically would be like a CFO. Because you may have a CFO, but you don't have anybody to cook. So your key activities help you to determine what positions you need to fill immediately. And then other positions can be supplementary. If you can find employees to do key activities and some extra work, you're good. You're in a good space. All right, so that's key activities. Key resources. These are the most important assets you need to deliver your value or make your company operate or work. Types of key resources include physical resources, financial resources, intellectual resources, and human resources. Physical resources would be things like your building, equipment. Physical, yep. Financial resources, well, self-explanatory. And you only need financial resources as a key element in your business model if you are delivering some type of financial value. For example, if you are a lending company, you say you offer loans, then you need money to offer the loan. Every business needs money, but if it's not going to help deliver your value, then it's not a resource, a key resource for you. Does that make sense? Okay. Intellectual brands, proprietary knowledge, so curriculum, patents, trademarks, those are key resources. Then human resources, staff, you need people to operate your business. So go ahead and write down your key resources. One resource per Post-it. Go ahead and put it on your canvas. And the resources that you're coming up with should help carry out your key activities that you identified. So if, for that restaurant, if cooking and cleaning and marketing and sales are key activities, what's a resource that you need to support that? Yeah, and human, yes. So staff, and then what's the physical? Yeah, equipment in your building, yes. Yes. So go ahead and write specifically staff, building, equipment. Specifically, what are your key resources? Moving on to key partners. These are the networks of suppliers or groups of companies or organizations that help you, that help make your model work. So you should ask yourself, who can help us do what we do? Who can help reduce risk in this business? Who can help with key activities? Who can help perform some of these activities? Maybe you don't want to hire somebody to carry out some of these activities. Is there a key partner that we can use to minimize cost? Who can provide these key resources that we need? So if it is a building, then maybe you have a property manager that provides that building. It would be a key resource. If you need storage space, who can provide that? That would be key partners too. Who are your key partners? Yours would be suppliers of some of your equipment and supplies. Suppliers, really. And then the last element would be the most important cost that you are going to incur to drive your business model. And to identify those costs, we're going to look at your key activities, your key resources, even look at some customer relationships and channels. What are some costs associated with those? let's look at a few case studies. In your packet, you have 2 models. Let's first look at Airbnb. Is everyone familiar with Airbnb? Who knows what Airbnb is? Okay, tell us what Airbnb is. What do they do?
People put their places, apartments, their bedroom, whatever, online, and the people can reserve it, kind of like a hotel.
Yes. So it's kind of like a home away from home. So on this business model, they color coded it. You don't have to, you can color code your business model. Everything in blue connects with each other. Everything in red connects with each other. So you'll see the value proposition in the blue is great places to stay all around the world for low prices. And everything else in blue connects to that value. What's the other value in red? Mark, tell us what the other value is in red.
Rent out extra space effortlessly for a worldwide audience.
Right, rent out extra space effortlessly for a worldwide audience. The blue value proposition, which is great places to stay, who values that? It's on your customer segment. Who values that?
Traveling.
Travelers. Travelers value great places to stay all around the world. Who values renting out your extra space effortlessly for your customer segment?
People with extra rooms, extra places.
Yes, people who have extra space, extra property. Okay? The customer relationship, for both of them, they're the same. They just duplicated it. Can you read out the value, the customer relationship?
Self-service on site with support teams, SMS and iPhone apps, things like that.
Okay, so the customer and, the traveler and the person who has spaces to rent, they do it all themselves online. Okay, so that's a self-service type of relationship. So you don't call in to the Airbnb company and say, book me a place around the world effortlessly. And then your channels, they're using the website. They're using all of these digital tools to deliver that value. So they're ordering their space online. And then you'll see there's 2 different revenue streams. In the blue, the great places to stay all around the world. The travelers, they get 6 to 12% of the revenue from the travelers and 3% from the people who book. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's 3% from successful booking.
Yeah. So Airbnb gets revenue from both ends. Okay, does that make sense? And then you can see that their key activities include platform management. I'm just going to use your
Culture.
key activities includes their platform management, managing the community on their platform, marketing. They know that they need online international payment methods, payment activity, and then photographers. So they partner with local photographers to take pictures of the places for the people who have extra places to rent out. And that's the effortlessly part. Okay? The better pictures, the more likely you are going to get your space booked or rented out. They also partner with main investors in online and international payment services, and their major costs include their photographers, their marketing, insurance, because there is an insurance feature with renting out their space, servers, human resources, and then the online international payment fees. Okay, you will see that each element in the business model connects with another element somewhere else in the business model. If it doesn't connect with anything, it's not a key element. So you can take it off, or you can add something to your business model to make that connection. Okay, so if you add something on here that doesn't speak to another item on your business model, you'll have to take it off or you'll have to add another element so that it's talking to each other. All the elements are connecting. Does that make sense? Let's move to the Uber case study. Everyone familiar with Uber? What is Uber? What do they do?
Kind of the same
Offer
thing.
rides.
Right.
Yes, they offer rides. They offer rides. So who are the two customer segments for the Uber business model?
The customers who are needing rides and the ones who are giving the rides.
Yes, so we got drivers and we got riders. We can simply state them that way. What value proposition connects with the people in need of transportation, the riders? What's their value proposition? What do they value? Out of these three listed, reliable transport, convenience, yep. So the people in need of transportation, they value the reliable transport and the convenience value propositions of Uber. And then the car owners, what do they value?
The money.
The money, the additional income, and what else on the value proposition? What else do they
The
value?
convenience.
And the convenience, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So both customer segments are valuing the convenience. One values the additional income, and one values the reliable transportation. And then you can see how Uber's platform works. Their key activities is what?
That platform that they developed.
So managing that platform,
Mhm.
that's their key activity. You also notice that Airbnb, one of their key activities is platform management. So you have Uber, which is like in the taxi service industry, and then you have Airbnb, which is more like bed and breakfast, hospitality industry, but their key activity is platform management. It's not the key activity of a traditional bed and breakfast or a taxi driver, taxi service, which really makes this company what? A tech company, yes. So technology has disrupted these traditional industries by transforming their business model. So it appears to us as a traditional industry, but their business model has disrupted that traditional industry. And you can do the same thing. You can take a traditional industry and disrupt it with a new innovative business model. So as you are working through your business models, I want you to use Alex Osterwalder's suggestion, which is to develop 9 different business models before you decide on one. Okay? And that's why we use Post-its, so we can move things around and see how one thing, can change the look and feel of your business. How one thing can change your model. And so we want you to do that 9 times as a homework assignment, and then come back with a business model that you would like to develop into a business plan. So the next phase of this training is a 6-week business planning series. And in that business plan, we are putting the details to your business model. You will see that in that business plan, we will refer to your business model a lot. Your revenue streams become your sales categories in your cash flow statement and your sales forecast. You'll see that your cost structure will be embedded in your cash flow, in your P&L. You'll see that your customers, let me go to the, you'll see that the right-hand side of your business model relating to your customers will be all in your marketing plan. You'll see that on the left-hand side of your canvas will be in your operations, your cost structure and revenue streams will be in your financials. So what we would like to do is help you think of the details to that business in this business planning series. 6 weeks. The 6th week, we're actually doing a pitch event at Rev One Ventures. And we invite guests who may be community stakeholders, investors, funders for Cultivate. You never know who you meet at these events that may potentially support your idea. Okay? So thank you for coming out. I'm gonna hang out and help answer some questions that you have for your business model or for the next phase of training. Thank you so much.